All right, thanks for coming back. Much appreciated. So, if you've been paying attention, we have a series out there now, basically for the minor pentatonic scale. Series of 5 videos at this point, and what we did in that batch of videos, basically, we broke down each box for the minor pentatonic scale. Boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If you haven't seen them yet, I would suggest going back just to take a look at those, just to get acquainted with how I'm going to be going through this lesson. Again, not saying my way is the right way, the wrong way. It's just a way that helped me learn, basically. A lot of great people out there teaching it, but for some reason it took me a while to figure it out. When I figured it out, this is how I'm putting these certain videos together. So there'll be a few more videos for sure, but if you haven't done so, I've got links above and below to take you to those 5 videos, just a couple minutes each. And all we did there was we went over each shape. We're not too concerned about the key and the names of the notes, as far as like an A, a C, a D, and E, but we're going to look at the intervals now, and that's kind of the key to all of this. As far as what key we are in for this exercise, I did start with the A minor, 5th position, root on the 6th string, 5th fret A. It's an arbitrary starting point for a lot of people. For me, I like it because it gives me a lot of room to work on the fretboard going this way, but it also gives me some room here for one of those boxes, which is box 5. Again, go back to those videos we did and you'll see what I'm talking about. For this particular section, again, I've kind of been going back and forth. I write notes out, I don't write notes out. We're going to wing this because I want to just kind of be able to talk from without having to rely on just notes in front of me. Talk as we go through this. So we're going to, for this particular video, at least for right now, and what we're looking to do, we are going to concentrate on position number 1, box 1 for the A minor pentatonic scale. That's typically how we learn it. We go from here, we go down to 6 strings, and we work our way back. And that's really it for some of it. We just kind of learn that, and we continue on, and we don't really break this down enough to understand what's going on. Well, let's break it down. Pentatonic scale, whether it's minor or major, pentatonic, penta, 5. So it's a 5-note scale. Well, you're looking at this going, I'm playing way more than 5 notes. How is that possible? Well, what we're doing is we're playing several octaves. That's number 1. So why don't we break down this scale to the intervals to understand why it's only a 5-note scale and how you see it. So anytime we're starting off with any scale, you've got a root or your tonic. Our root is this note right here, 5th fret, 6th string, which happens to be the A for A minor. Okay. Our next note is going to be on the same string, which is the flat 3rd. All right. So we go from the 5th fret to the 8th fret for that second note, which is our flat 3rd. We go to the 4th. I'm calling out the intervals now, just so we're on the same page. So we got the 1, the flat 3rd. The next string is your 4th, your perfect 4th. We got our perfect 5th. We go down to the flat 7th, and we start to repeat because now we're at the octave, which is the same note where we started here before. So really, the scale, for all intents and purposes, is just this. That's your scale technically. We just start to repeat it. It's an octave higher, and then you continue. Here's another A here, and you can kind of just continue going that way. So start to look at this particular scale, or any scale really, breaking it down to really what its basics are. 5 notes. We repeat it. And we just keep going. If I had more strings, I can continue going up and down the strings. So let's look at this again one more time, just to kind of understand this more. This is the minor pentatonic scale. There's my octave. I can go back up. Or I continue with the next octave. There's my 3rd octave. So again, the root, my flat 3rd, or minor 3rd, my perfect 4th, my perfect 5th. Remember, like a power chord? Your root and your 5th. That's how that works. My flat 7th, and now we go back to the root. So if I keep going, the root, my minor 3rd, right? Sounds the same. So root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, my flat 7th here. There's the octave one more time. That's one octave, second octave, and we can continue going on that way. Okay, so another way we can look at this, and again, we're not too concerned about the names of these notes. Again, this is an A, this is a C, and this is a D and an E. Okay, but let's worry about those intervals more importantly, because once you know the intervals, you can pick this up and move it anywhere you want. All right, the intervals don't change, just the key changes. So I'd rather you learn the intervals than worrying about, okay, here's an A, here's a C, but now if I move this here, here's an F, here's a G sharp. You've got to learn all these different names, whereas with the intervals stay the same. Okay, let's do this one more time. Root, flat or minor 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, my flat 7th, there's my octaves. Continue. So the octave or the root will go there, root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, my perfect 5th, my minor 7th, there's my root one more time. Okay, now let's just take another look at this, okay? We're so used to these playing in the box, right? But let's take a look at this linear. Let's look at it just one string all the way down to understand. Now, when we work on it this way, it's almost like a bridge, it's like a conveyor belt on one string. We're going to jump into another lesson, which is going to tie together the boxes we went over and putting all this together, okay? So, we've gone over root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, minor 7th, right? What if we did all that just on one string? That way you could see the distance between each note and not just the box. It's the same scale. We're just doing it on one string, and you can see the distance from here. There's your root to the octave. Okay? So here's your root. Here's your minor 3rd, your perfect 4th, your perfect 5th, your minor 7th, and there's your root. Well, let's compare. Your root is your root, it's staying there, right? Our minor 3rd happens to be on that same string, so that's where that stays. Perfect 4th is here. Right? So you've got your root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, which is there. Perfect 5th is next, which happens to be right there. So again, root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th. There's our minor 7th. See how that's kind of tying itself together now? Again, we're just talking 5 notes. That's it. Root, minor 3rd, perfect 4th, perfect 5th, minor 7th. There's our root. I want you to understand where these points are, because each one of these notes will be the starting point for box 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what I'm trying to tie it together here. And this was the thing that took me forever to understand. And finally, when I got it, it was eye-opening. So again, minor pentatonic scale, 5 notes. And then it repeats. And then if we do it all on one string, so these notes here are these exact same notes. There's my octave. Okay? And we're going to work on different things to show you how you can play these 5. Again, it's going to come back to these 5 boxes and how it's done, and kind of splicing it all together. So just understand you've only got 5 notes in the scale. Okay, that was my octave right there. Okay, on one string. Once you know where these, the 5th fret, 8th fret, 10th, 12th, 15th, and then your octave on that 17th, These are going to be key points of reference as we go through this and work on different boxes within the A minor pentatonic. So rewind, go back, take a look at it. I think this will be helpful. This is what's worked for me. But I think the key thing here is break it down. You don't have to do a full run. It's great to memorize it, but what are you actually playing? Well, 5 notes. When I'm playing it correctly. Root, minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth. There's my minor seventh. And then the octave. All that's just repeating. So, and again, any minor pentatonic scale, it's your root, your minor third, perfect fourth, perfect fifth, minor seventh. Doesn't matter where you're playing it on here. It's the same intervals. That's why I think the intervals are more important than memorizing notes. For these lessons, though, we are going to be concentrating on this note right here, the A minor pentatonic shapes. So this is kind of home. This is home base. This is, you know, where we're always going to come back to. Okay, so keep this in mind. That's why we have, this is our visual reference point, starting point. We're building everything around this, which is why the 5 notes. It's all right here, the same notes. We're just learning how to play it in different areas of the fretboard. Once you start having an understanding of this, you'll be able to go into any key and do it. It's just a matter of picking this shape up and moving it somewhere else to begin. That's it. It's like all plug and play. It's really what it is. So go back, learn those 5 positions we've already done. Again, all we did was learn the shapes. That was it. Nothing more to that. But if you understood this and you see those shapes we did, you can actually start plugging these in as we go along here. It should start to make sense, but we're going to have another video after this in more detail about these shapes and these boxes and how it all works and goes together. All right? If you haven't done so, please like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff. It is much appreciated. Any questions you have, even on this, just in the comments below. I'm pretty good with getting back to people. If you have questions, let me know. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And again, if you subscribe, you'll know when the next one's coming out. I will say the next video, more than likely, because I'm kind of doing a lot of this on the fly here, but the next video is going to be tying the 5 boxes together. Even if it's not the whole scale, okay, you'll see how all this, and that was just 5 notes I played. I went from 5 to the 5th fret up here, only playing 5 notes. So I don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves here. Let's work on this. Break this scale down to just the 5 notes. Repeat those 5 notes in the next octave, and then go back and linear. And you can do it on the high E string as well, because again, both of these are E strings. So what you do on the 6th string, you can do on the 1st string as well. Okay? Hopefully this helped you out. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Comments as always. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. See you on the next one.